My name is Jennifer, and I never imagined that my daughter's high school graduation would become the day I'd finally silence 20 years of whispered doubts. But standing there in the parking lot of Lincoln High School in suburban Chicago, with the June sun beating down on my shoulders and my mother-in-law's venomous words still hanging in the air, I knew the moment had finally arrived. The morning had started like a dream. I woke up at 6, unable to contain my excitement. My daughter Emma was graduating as valedictorian, and every sacrifice I'd made as a young mother suddenly felt worth it. I stood in front of my closet, running my hands over the navy blue dress I'd bought specifically for this occasion. Through the window, I could see the neighbors' sprinklers creating tiny rainbows in the early morning light, and somewhere down the street, a dog was barking with unbridled joy. "Mom, have you seen my white shoes?" Emma's voice carried down the hallway, filled with that mixture of excitement and nervousness that only 18-year-olds can master. "Check my room, sweetheart," I called back, slipping into my dress. At 42, I could still see traces of the scared 22-year-old who'd held Emma for the first time. The same green eyes, though now with tiny lines at the corners. The same determined jaw that had gotten me through community college classes while Emma napped in her carrier beside my desk. My husband Marcus appeared in the doorway, already dressed in his charcoal suit. After 15 years of marriage, he still made my heart skip a beat. "You look beautiful, Jen," he said, wrapping his arms around my waist. "Emma's lucky to have you." "We're lucky to have each other," I replied, leaning back into his embrace. Marcus had come into our lives when Emma was 5, and he'd loved her as his own from day one. He'd been at every parent-teacher conference, every school play, every soccer game. He was her dad in every way that mattered. The graduation ceremony was held at the outdoor amphitheater on campus, with white folding chairs arranged in perfect rows and a temporary stage decorated with the school colors, red and gold. The air smelled of fresh-cut grass and someone's overpowering perfume. Parents jostled for position with their cameras, and I could hear the nervous chatter of graduates lined up behind the building. We arrived early, securing seats in the third row. My parents drove up from Springfield and arrived just in time, my mom clutching a bouquet of sunflowers, Emma's favorite. "Where's Emma?" she asked, scanning the crowd with those sharp eyes that never missed anything. "Backstage with the other speakers," I said, checking my phone for the third time. Emma had sent a selfie, cap slightly askew, dimples showing, eyes bright with anticipation. Then Marcus's parents arrived. I saw them making their way down the aisle, and my stomach tightened instinctively. Patricia and Robert Mitchell moved through the crowd like visiting royalty, Patricia's pearl necklace catching the sunlight, her silver hair styled perfectly despite the humidity. They'd never quite forgiven Marcus for marrying a single mother instead of the country club daughter they'd envisioned for him. "Jennifer," Patricia said, her voice cool as she air-kissed near my cheek without actually making contact. The scent of her expensive perfume, something French and intimidating, washed over me. Quite a turnout. "Emma worked incredibly hard for this," I replied, refusing to let her tone dampen my mood. "We're so proud of her." Patricia's lips pursed in that way they always did when I mentioned my pride in Emma. "Yes, well, hard work certainly runs in some families." The implication hung there, as it always did. The suggestion that Emma's achievements couldn't possibly come from my side of the family. I felt Marcus's hand find mine, squeezing gently. He knew. He always knew. The ceremony began with the school band playing a slightly off-key rendition of "Pomp and Circumstance." I watched the graduates file in, and when I spotted Emma in the sea of red caps and gowns, tears immediately sprang to my eyes. She'd made it. We'd made it. Emma's valedictory speech was everything I'd hoped for, and more. She spoke about perseverance, about the different kinds of families that support us, about teachers who believed in students even when they didn't believe in themselves. Her voice was steady and clear, projecting across the amphitheater with a confidence I'd spent years helping her build. "My mom always told me that where you start doesn't determine where you finish," Emma said, and her eyes found mine in the crowd. She proved that to me every single day. I was openly crying now, not caring that my mascara was probably running. Marcus handed me a tissue, his own eyes suspiciously bright. Even my dad, who prided himself on being stoic, was dabbing at his face with his handkerchief. Patricia, I noticed, was checking her phone. After the ceremony, we all gathered in the parking lot, waiting for Emma to emerge from the crowd of graduates, taking photos with friends and teachers. The June heat was intensifying, and I could feel sweat beginning to gather at my temples despite the shade from the nearby oak trees. The air was filled with the sounds of celebration, laughter, car horns honking in congratulations, the distant pop of a champagne bottle someone had smuggled in. "There she is!" my mom called out, waving frantically as Emma navigated toward us, cap in hand, gown unzipped to reveal the white dress underneath. Her face was flushed with happiness, and she was clutching her diploma like it was made of gold. "Congratulations, sweetheart," I said, pulling her into a tight hug. She smelled like the vanilla body spray she'd worn since middle school. "I'm so incredibly proud of you." "Thanks, Mom," she whispered into my shoulder. "I couldn't have done it without you." Emma made the rounds, hugging Marcus, who lifted her off her feet despite her protests, accepting my parents' sunflowers with genuine delight, even politely thanking Patricia and Robert, though their congratulations sounded forced and mechanical. That's when Patricia struck. "It's really quite remarkable," she said, her voice cutting through the happy chatter like a knife. "Emma doesn't look anything like you, Jennifer. Not a single feature. Strange, isn't it?" The parking lot seemed to go quiet, though I knew it hadn't. Conversations continued around us. People laughed. Cars came and went. But in our little circle, everything had stopped. I'd heard variations of this comment for 20 years, ever since Emma was born. Little remarks, carefully placed observations, questions designed to look innocent, but sharp enough to draw blood. Patricia had perfected the art of the poisoned compliment, the concerned inquiry that left you feeling small and defensive. When Emma was a baby, it was, "She has such dark hair. Where does that come from, Jennifer?" When she started school, it was interesting that she's so good at math. That certainly doesn't run in your family, does it? At Emma's 13th birthday party, Patricia had studied the photos on our wall and commented, "You really can't see the resemblance." Each time, I'd swallowed the hurt, changed the subject, or simply walked away. Marcus would apologize later, promised to talk to his mother, but nothing ever changed. Patricia Mitchell believed what she believed, and no amount of reasoning would convince her otherwise. But today was different. Today was Emma's day, and I was done protecting Patricia's feelings at the expense of my daughter's happiness and my own dignity. "Actually, Patricia," I said, my voice steady despite the rage building in my chest, "Emma looks exactly like my grandmother, Catherine. Same eyes, same bone structure, same smile. My mother has shown you the photos multiple times." Patricia waved her hand dismissively, her jewelry catching the light. "Those old photographs don't prove anything. They're so grainy and faded." She turned to Emma, who had gone very still beside me. "Darling, you must wonder sometimes about your real father, about where you actually come from." Emma's face went pale, and I felt something inside me snap. This wasn't just about me anymore. This was about my daughter, who'd just accomplished something extraordinary. "That's enough," Marcus said, his voice sharp. "Mom, you need to stop." "No, Marcus," I interrupted, holding up my hand. 20 years of patience and restraint had led to this moment, and I was suddenly perfectly calm. "Let her finish. I want everyone to hear exactly what she's saying." Patricia's eyes gleamed with what looked like triumph. "I'm simply saying what everyone's been thinking for years. She's not yours, Jennifer. Look at her. She's intelligent, talented, beautiful. Nothing like you. You trapped my son with this child, but we all know the truth. She can't possibly be yours." The words hung in the humid air like smoke. My mother gasped. My father's face turned red with anger. Emma's eyes filled with tears, and Marcus looked like he wanted the ground to swallow him whole. And I smiled. I reached into my purse, a navy leather bag that matched my dress, and pulled out a manila envelope. I'd been carrying it for 3 weeks, waiting for the right moment, or maybe hoping the moment would never come, that Patricia would somehow, miraculously, choose kindness on this one important day. "Funny you should mention that," I said, my voice carrying clearly in the parking lot. A few nearby families had stopped their own conversations, sensing drama. "Because I have something for you." I held out the envelope to Patricia, but she didn't take it. Her perfectly made-up face showed the first crack of uncertainty. 3 weeks ago, Emma and I went to a private lab in downtown Chicago. Not because I had any doubts, I've never had a single doubt, but because I knew this day would come eventually. The day when I'd need proof to shut down your 20 years of insinuations and insults. Jennifer, you don't have to do this, Marcus said quietly, but I could hear the support for me in his voice. Yes, I do, I replied, opening the envelope myself since Patricia still hadn't moved. Emma deserves this. I deserve this. I pulled out the report, the official letterhead visible even in the outdoor light. DNA Diagnostic Center. I read aloud. Maternity test results for Jennifer Ann Mitchell and Emma Catherine Mitchell. Patricia's face had lost some of its color, but her jaw was set stubbornly. Anyone can print anything these days. Probability of maternity, 99%, I continued, my voice growing stronger with each word. Emma Catherine Mitchell is the biological daughter of Jennifer Ann Mitchell. There is no doubt. There has never been any doubt, except in your bitter, small-minded head. The silence that followed was deafening. Even the nearby conversations had actually stopped now, people openly staring at our family drama unfolding in the parking lot. Emma moved first, wrapping her arms around me from the side. Mom, she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. You didn't have to. Yes, I did, I said, hugging her back while keeping my eyes locked on Patricia. Because you are mine, in every possible way. Biologically, legally, emotionally, you are my daughter, and no one gets to question that ever again. My mother stepped forward, her own eyes blazing. Patricia Mitchell, I have tried to be civil with you for 15 years, for Marcus's sake, but I've watched you tear down my daughter and my granddaughter with your poisonous comments, and I'm done being polite. Jennifer was 19 when she got pregnant by a boy who ran away the second he found out. She could have given up. Instead, she raised an incredible daughter while putting herself through school and building a career. She's 10 times the woman you'll ever be. Mom, I started, but she held up her hand. No, Jennifer, this needs to be said. Patricia, you've spent 20 years implying that Emma couldn't possibly be smart or talented because of where she came from. Well, look at what that supposedly inferior blood produced. A valedictorian, a full scholarship to Northwestern, a kind, compassionate, brilliant young woman. If that's not good enough for you, then the problem isn't Emma or Jennifer, it's you. Robert Mitchell, who had been silent throughout the entire exchange, finally spoke. Patricia, we should go. His voice was quiet, almost defeated. For the first time, I saw something in his face that looked like shame. But Patricia wasn't ready to retreat. You can't possibly expect me to apologize for expressing legitimate concerns. Legitimate concerns? Marcus's voice cracked like a whip. I'd rarely heard him this angry. Mom, you just publicly questioned whether my wife's daughter is actually her daughter on what should be one of the happiest days of our lives. You implied my wife is a liar and Emma is, what? Some kind of imposter? Marcus, you don't understand what it was like when she came along, Patricia said, and for a moment, her perfectly composed mask slipped. You were supposed to marry Diane Worthington. You had a future planned. Then this girl shows up with a child, and suddenly all our plans for you were gone. Your plans, Marcus said coldly. Not my plans. I fell in love with Jennifer and Emma. I chose them. That was my decision, my life, and the best choice I ever made. And you've spent 15 years punishing them for it. Grandma Patricia, Emma said, her voice small but steady. Why do you hate us so much? The question, asked so simply and directly by an 18-year-old girl in her graduation gown, seemed to deflate Patricia entirely. She looked at Emma, really looked at her, and I saw something shift in her expression. I don't hate you, Patricia said, but the words sounded hollow. You've questioned my existence since I was born, Emma continued, and I could hear her voice getting stronger. You've made my mom feel like she wasn't good enough, like I wasn't good enough, like we somehow tricked Dad into loving us. But he does love us. We love him, and we've tried so hard to make you love us too, but nothing's ever enough for you. Tears were streaming down Emma's face now, but she didn't stop. I got straight A's. Not good enough. I made the honor roll every semester. You said it was grade inflation. I got into Northwestern with a full scholarship. You said they probably needed to fill a diversity quota. What do I have to do to be real to you, to matter to you? Patricia opened her mouth, then closed it again. For the first time in all the years I'd known her, she seemed to have no words. You don't have to do anything, I said to Emma, pulling her close again. You are enough, exactly as you are. You have always been enough. Marcus took a deep breath, running his hand through his hair. "Mom, Dad, I think you should go. Emma's friends are coming over for a celebration dinner, and I don't think it's a good idea for you to be there." "Marcus, please," Patricia said, and her voice actually cracked. "He's our son, and she's my daughter," Marcus replied, putting his arm around Emma. "And Jennifer is my wife, my family. If you can't respect them, if you can't celebrate with us without these constant jabs and insinuations, then you're not welcome in our home today." I watched Patricia's face cycle through emotions: shock, hurt, anger, and something that might have been understanding. She looked at the DNA report still in my hand, at Emma's tear-stained face, at Marcus's protective stance. "I see," she said finally, her voice brittle. "Come along, Robert." They walked away across the parking lot, Patricia's heels clicking sharply on the asphalt. I watched them get into their silver Mercedes and pull away, and I felt an unexpected mix of relief and sadness. Relief that the confrontation was finally over. Sadness that it had come to this on what should have been a purely joyous day. We ended up at Maggiano's in downtown Chicago, the restaurant where we'd celebrated all of Emma's major milestones. The hostess recognized us immediately and seated us at our favorite corner booth, the one with the mural of the Italian countryside on the wall. The restaurant was bustling with the lunch crowd, the air filled with the scent of garlic and fresh bread and the sounds of clinking glasses and laughter. Emma excused herself to the restroom to fix her makeup, and my mother went with her, leaving Marcus, my father, and me at the table. I looked down at my hands, realizing I was still clutching the DNA report. "Are you okay?" Marcus asked quietly, taking my hand across the table. "I honestly don't know," I admitted. "Part of me feels vindicated. Part of me feels sad that it came to this. Part of me is just exhausted." "That woman has been poisoning your relationship since day one," my father said. "Better that it happened now on your terms than continuing to let her chip away at Emma's confidence." "And I meant what I said," Marcus added. "We're done tolerating her behavior. If she wants a relationship with us, with Emma, she needs to genuinely change. Otherwise, we're better off without her." "What if she never changes?" I asked. Marcus squeezed my hand. "Then we've lost nothing we actually had. My mother has been present physically but absent emotionally for years." Emma and my mother returned, Emma's face freshly washed and her smile more genuine. She slid into the booth next to me, and I put my arm around her shoulders. "You know what, Mom?" she said, looking up at me. "I'm glad it happened." "Really?" I asked, surprised. "Yeah, because now it's out there. Now everyone knows exactly where Grandma Patricia stands, and we don't have to pretend anymore. We don't have to walk on eggshells. We're free." Out of the mouths of 18-year-olds, I thought. She was absolutely right. Our food arrived, pasta and chicken and more bread than any group of 5 people should reasonably eat. As we dug in, the conversation shifted to lighter topics. Emma's plans for Northwestern, my parents' upcoming cruise to Alaska, Marcus's promotion at work, normal family things. "Speech, speech!" my dad called out when our desserts arrived, making Emma groan and laugh. "I already gave a speech today, Grandpa." "That was for the whole school," he countered. "This one's just for us." Emma stood up, holding her water glass like it was champagne. "Okay, here goes. Thank you all for being here today, and not just at the restaurant, but at the ceremony, and really, for being there my whole life. Mom, you've shown me what strength looks like. You've proven that one person's doubt doesn't define your worth. Dad, you chose to be my father when you didn't have to, and that choice has meant everything to me. Grandma and Grandpa, you've always made me feel seen and valued and loved." She paused, her eyes getting a little misty. "Today was supposed to be perfect, and in a weird way, it kind of was. Because I learned that I don't need everyone's approval to be proud of myself. I learned that standing up for the people you love is more important than keeping the peace. And I learned that family isn't just about biology, though thanks for that DNA test, Mom. That was pretty badass." We all laughed, and several nearby tables glanced over, smiling at our obvious happiness. "So here's to new beginnings," Emma concluded, raising her glass higher. "To Northwestern, to standing up for ourselves, to families that choose each other every single day, and to my mom, who's proven to everyone, once and for all, that I am hers and she is mine, in every way that matters." We clinked our glasses together, and I felt tears streaming down my face again. But this time, they were purely happy ones. Later that evening, After my parents had driven back to Springfield and Emma had left for a sleepover at her friend Sophia's house, Marcus and I sat on our back porch, watching fireflies dance in the gathering darkness. The air had cooled slightly, carrying the scent of honeysuckle from our neighbor's fence. "Do you think she'll call?" I asked, not having to specify who she was. "My mother? Probably. Eventually. Whether she'll apologize or just pretend nothing happened, I can't say." Marcus took a sip of his beer. "But I meant what I said. The ball's in her court now. What kind of relationship do you want with her?" He was quiet for a long moment. "I want parents who are proud of my choices and welcoming to my family. But if I can't have that, if she can't change, then I'd rather have the honest distance we have now than the polite hostility we've been living with." I leaned my head on his shoulder. "I love you. I love you too, both of you, my girls." My phone buzzed with a text from Emma. "Having so much fun. Sophia's mom says congratulations on raising such an amazing daughter. Love you, Mom." I smiled, typing back, "Love you too, sweetheart. So proud of you." Another text came through, this one from a number I didn't recognize. "This is Robert. I want you to know that I am deeply sorry for my silence today and for the past 20 years. You didn't deserve Patricia's treatment, and Emma certainly didn't. I hope you know that I see you. I see the incredible mother you are and the remarkable young woman you've raised. Congratulations to Emma on her graduation. She earned every bit of it. Robert." I showed the text to Marcus, who read it with raised eyebrows. "Well, that's something." "It is," I agreed. "It's not everything, but it's something." As we sat there under the emerging stars, I thought about the DNA report in my purse, about Patricia's cruel words, about Emma's brave speech at the restaurant, about Robert's unexpected apology. I thought about the 19-year-old girl I'd been, terrified and alone, holding a positive pregnancy test and wondering how she'd possibly manage. And I thought about Emma's face when she held her diploma, about the pride in her voice during her valedictory speech, about the strength she'd shown standing up to her grandmother. Worth it. Every single moment had been worth it. "Hey," Marcus said, breaking into my thoughts. "What are you thinking about?" I smiled, taking his hand. "I'm thinking about how we won." "Won?" "Yeah. Patricia spent 20 years trying to make me feel like I wasn't good enough, like Emma wasn't really mine. And she failed. We're still here. We're stronger than ever. Emma's thriving. We're happy. She lost." Marcus grinned. "You're right. We did win." "Damn right we did," I said, squeezing his hand. And sitting there on my back porch, with my husband beside me, and my daughter out celebrating with friends, with the DNA report that proved what I'd always known tucked safely in my purse, I felt more victorious than I had in years. Emma was mine. She had always been mine, and no amount of doubt or cruelty could ever change that fundamental truth. Tomorrow, we'd start planning for her move to Northwestern. We'd shop for dorm supplies and argue about how much stuff she actually needed. Life would go on, but tonight, I let myself savor the victory, the small, significant triumph of standing up, speaking out, and proving once and for all that love and determination matter more than anyone's narrow-minded prejudice. The fireflies continued their dance, the stars grew brighter, and somewhere in the distance, I heard laughter. It was a beautiful night, and I was at peace.